Functional coupler. This item allows you to hold more than one equipment. Sounds pretty simple on paper, right? Get a card, get a recycler, get 10 billion items. Or hold a pillar skip and hold a damage equipment to fight Mithrix. Again, pretty simple. But what if I told you there was more to this item than meets the eye? But before I delve into that, I have a quick short story you guys need to hear first. See, a while back, I was just casually playing through the DLC with my friend. I picked up a Seed of Life, took out the Soulless Amalgamator, got a functional coupler, went through Conduit Canyon, took out Alloyed Hunter, and went straight to Soulless Wing. Now here's the thing, throughout the entirety of Conduit Canyon, there was only one other good equipment, which I just let my friend pick up, of course. So that left me with just the Seed of Life for the Soulless Wing fight. Now, that fight starts and then I eventually die, but it's all good, I have a Seed of Life. But then I die again. And I come back again. Wait, what? I thought I only had one Seed of Life. Well, whatever. See, at the time I didn't really think too much about it. I attributed it to some random multiplayer bug or something lag related. I don't know. But then, in the Risk of Resources Discord, I saw this. So Patar, and if you don't know who Patar is, he's a really talented player, beat Eclipse 8 without any items. Anyways, he found that if you have a Tricorn and no other equipment with the functional coupler, you just end up getting 2 uses of the Tricorn. And that got me thinking, wait, a functional coupler, a consumable equipment, and nothing in the second equipment slot. Those were the exact same conditions I had when I revived twice. Now, Patar actually responded with an insane revelation, but before I show that off, I want to look at what Midtown found out. He found that the amount of times you use it is equivalent to the amount of empty slots you have. So if you have 20 empty slots, you can use one consumable equipment 20 times. And that brings me back to the revelation that Patar had. What if your second equipment slot was always empty? Doesn't that mean you can theoretically use Seed of Life or Tricorn infinitely? If only there was a way to drop that second equipment. Well, what do you know? So yes, if a Soulless Invalidator disables your items with a functional coupler, you drop the equipment in your second slot. So in theory, you can have infinite lives or have infinite Tricorn uses as long as that enemy is present on the stage you're at. But believe it or not, that's not the only game-breaking thing this item can do. There's actually one more bit of tech that I want to cover. But before I get into that, let's talk about Engineer. He's a pretty good survivor, overall his kit is pretty solid, but the key thing here are his turrets. They inherit his items and his equipments. Now they can't actually activate his equipments, but they can hold them. So basically anything that works passively can work with his turrets, including Seed of Life. Now why does any of this matter? Well, let's think for a bit. What actually happens if we give these turrets an extra equipment? And better yet, what happens if we try the functional coupler tech with turrets? Now remember, turrets can't actually activate equipments, so this would only work with the Seed of Life. So let's see, what happens if turrets have a functional coupler, a Seed of Life, and nothing in the second equipment slot? Well, as you'd expect, they can die and come back, then die and come back, then die, and come back? Okay, so turns out turrets specifically end up getting twice the amount of lives for every extra Seed of Life they get. So basically every functional coupler in your inventory is an extra 2 lives that a turret has. But we can take this a step even further. When you have too many turrets and place a new one down, the old one dies. Now that's the thing, it dies. But what if they have an extra life? Well, this was already taken into account when Seed of Life was added to the game, so nothing happens. But what about 2 Seed of Lives? Oh, and remember that functional coupler tech that technically gives you multiple Seed of Lives? Yeah, that works too. So with just one equipment and one item, you can amass an army of turrets.